I'm CB, and I'm here to dumpster dive for demos in search for treasure, which is actually pretty apt for the game I'm going to be reviewing today. Usual thing, welcome back to any returning faces, hi to anyone new, and why I'm here. Digging through the shovelware, asset flips, and AI slop in Steam's demo tag to find the treasure in the trash. Also determining to a point how accessible a game is to someone with a relatively varied list of disability symptoms, as much as you can from the brief glimpse a demo gives you anyway. Today was going to be a whole different kind of looking for things game, but I keep having to shift my schedule around for upcoming release dates on the big pile of demos living in my Steam library right now. Last time it was big sale ending soon, though the whole stream itself ended in catastrophe. Remind me never to attempt to play a fixed camera anything with only a keyboard, and I can't use controllers, so that's another one I'm never going to be able to play in terms of types of games. Anyway, this one it comes out in a couple of weeks, so it needed to be moved up a little bit. The game is Strange Antiquities by Bad Viking, published by Iceberg Interactive. The predecessor to this game is Strange Horticulture, which tested the observational skills with an array of weird plants with properties that would help the populace of our little quasi-Victorian era town, who have a variety of unusual and often paranormal problems. This, it seems, Strange Antiquities is more of the same thing, except now it's artifacts instead of plants, so I imagine the foraging is very different, and the ways of identifying the things we're looking for will likewise be different. It doesn't say that you can join a cult or a coven like you can in Strange Horticulture, so I'm not sure if I'm continuing a trend of games involving weird cults, but I guess it shouldn't faze me either. Between Whispers of the Eyeless, Rogue Trader, Indica, the Cosmic Wheel Sisterhood, Quantum Witch, whatever was going on with Tortured Souls, and whole varieties of others, I guess, I've dealt with enough weird approaches to the current power beyond the whatever. So, are you sitting comfortably? Awesome. Then we'll begin. First thing we do is check out the options, just to see where we are. Auto-labeling, automatically label identified items. I think I'll switch that on, because I imagine it'll only switch on once I've properly identified it. And one of the things that annoyed me the most about Strange Horticulture was constantly having to stop and type. You know, I never checked to see if they had this option in Strange Horticulture. That could change everything. Why did I not think of this before? Zoom, press and hold shift to zoom, press shift to toggle on and off zoom now. I want more control over my zoom. Visuals, simplified text, fonts that are easier to read. I'm okay. Windowed resizable, we're fine. Spiders, visible, I think I can change this, in the middle of the game. So if there is anybody watching this and they are afraid of spiders, please let me know, and I will switch the arachnophobia thing so that we can't see spiders. I don't want to freak anybody out. Sound, we're probably good. Controls, thank the gods there's only for mouse and keyboard. Shop navigation, magnifying glass, left mouse, right mouse, cool. Language, I think everybody's okay with English. I don't actually really know. I don't think I know any of the rest of them. What were the rest of them? See, English, Francais I know. Deutsch, not so much. Italiano, I could probably get from context. Polski, no. Portuguese, Espanol, I could do. Turkish, Russian? I know that one's Korean. Two kinds of Japanese. Chinese. I'm sticking with English. Okay. Now we've had a look at what the options are. Everything nice and simple. Let's make a start. No voice acting. So I guess it's up to me. As a thaumaturge's apprentice, there is a lot to learn. Every object, capital O, object, must be treated with care, and it is important to identify the harmful from the harmless, the potent from the mild. It was only supposed to be a temporary arrangement when Eli left the shop, Strange Antiquities, in my hands. None of us knew that by then the pendulum was already swinging with a terrible certainty that could not be stopped. Okay, we're getting ominous real damn fast. Okay. The ravens were an omen. A circling unkindness of black wings and cheerless cries that seemed, even then, to signal the start of a rising dread. Gods, you guys are loud. Okay. Well, that was pleasant. And you can pet the cat. They tell you to pet the cat. Purr. We could just do this for like an hour. Do you want to just do this for like an hour? I could do this for like an hour. No, the flashing would annoy me. Oh, old drag. Inspect. Coloring. Composition. Wood. Sense of touch. It's rough and pitted. Scent and sound. I have nothing to remark. It's wood. Well, sometimes wood smells of things. Inner perception. Okay. I have nothing to remark. Okay, that's not helpful. Yeah, okay. The plant is just a plant. Good to know. Could pet the cat again. Oh, are you just kind of hiding in the back? It fills me with a sense of foreboding. Hard and somewhat rough, cool and smooth. I thought at first was bone, but it is in fact clay, painted to look like bone. A dark blue-green gemstone. Alright, you're blinking at me. Why are you blinking at me? Oh, hello, dude. I have been called away to assist in an urgent matter in Ravenglass and must leave at once. I am leaving the shop in your care, with some reluctance, I might add. Thanks for the vote of support! Make use of my reference materials. Here, take this. There's an index in the back that may be useful to you. If in doubt, study it carefully. And remember that there are some powerful artifacts here. Under no circumstances should you seek entry to any locked doors, drawers, or cupboards. In fact, safest not to touch anything at all. I should be back in a few days. Excuse me. Yeah, WASD, or arrow keys, or things. Ooh, hello. Why do I have like a Ouija board? Oh, right. This is where... Explorer? What in the name of ever-living hell are these? What's this? Map of Undermere. So if I ever have to go looking for things, I know where they are. I'll keep you back in there too, because I don't know what you do, but I'm gonna need this stuff eventually. Okay. What do you say? The Thaumaturge, Eli White. Eli is a thaumaturge, a collector and curator of powerful objects. Objects that to the untrained eye may appear dull and lifeless, but that in the right hands and armed with the right knowledge can be a gateway to so much more. For Eli, the quest to unearth and understand each new object has been the driving force of his adult life. As owner of Strange Antiquities, Eli is a stern master. He knows firsthand what can happen if the right precautions are not taken. He doesn't tend to show much emotion, but he does have a more tender side. A side that is mostly reserved for the store's cat, Jupiter. The cat's name is Jupiter? Hi, Jupiter. Oh, you're flashing again. Congratulations, today is the day you meet the great Thomas Pope. That's me. I'm a man of two loves, fresh mountain air, and a little white dog called Hamish. But I reserve some room for laughter among friends and shops with cats in them. If you would be so kind, I'm looking for a replacement for my hunter's boon. Okay, so this is hunter's boon. A hunter's boon is a primitive item. They grant the power of the predator, enhancing perception and agility. They are made from trophies taken from slain beasts, with those from the deadliest predators being the most prized. They are simple items without embellishment. The eye on that thing is following me. Okay, so let's do that again. So it's things taken from the slain beasts. Okay. Let's investigate. Color and composition. Yellowy brown. It's a yellowy white color. Sense of touch. Smooth with hard ridges. Smooth. Scent and sound. I have nothing to remark. Inner perception. It gives me a sensation of power. What's a claw? That's the only thing I can see that looks like it's been made of anything. Let's see if I got it right. Yes! This is a tiger's tooth, a trophy from a predator. On closer inspection, it gives a sensation of power. Okay, I got this. Selenic totem. These carved totems, more commonly known as moon hearts, can be imbued with a sentiment or feeling such as love or joy, and then held tightly to recall the same feeling. They sometimes feature crescent shapes associated with both the Selenic and Noctic disciplines. Indeed, the form of the item itself will often have a connection to either the moon or the night. And yeah, no, we've already got the labels done. Yes, thank you. I'm aware. Once another bing. Hello. The nights are drawing in again. Dark shadows hide dark deeds, or so my father always used to say. Seems like the shadows have grown darker since he passed 2 winters gone. A creeping dark has set up in my house. Oh, great. I'm told a shadow hold will draw it out. Okay. Index shadow hold. A shadow hold or a shandic vessel is a container of any kind, sometimes a jar or a bottle or some sort of box. It can be used to contain an Oshandic spirit, the manifestation known as creeping dark, pulling it from the shadows like poison from a wound. They are decorated with an elaborate design called a shadow catcher. Huh. Okay. Oshandic spirit. Okay. Oh, neat. There's reference things. Okay, so we're basically looking for that symbol, are we? What have we got that's that symbol? Do we have anything that's that symbol? Not that I'm seeing. Wait a moment. Vessel is some sort of box. That's all the stuff that's locked up. I'm not sure. Down? Anything down? No. Okay. My hands belong to somebody else. Composition stone. Fossilized creatures of some sort. Rough and pitted. Large and rich. No. No, that's definitely not it. Oh, bottle. Let's have a look at the bottle. Hard and somewhat rough. These markings have been carved in it. Clay. Okay. Nothing to remark. Nothing to remark. There's nothing in it. Well, let's see what we've got. Shadow hold. The item is a container of some kind. The design on the bottle is the same as in the sketch. Okay. I got this. Sunbond. A sunbond is small and lightweight, designed to be carried discreetly, and made of a non-precious metal of some kind, housing a gemstone of light. They carry the warmth and the light of the sun, a brightness that can pierce the darkest gloom. Okay, cool. Yeah. Now I have the auto labeling option set. Thank you. Or Bing. Cat doesn't like the Bing. Oh, mailman. What's with all these ravens flying around Undermere today? I can't remember ever seeing anything like it. Oh, good. Not a good day to be the sort who believes in dark omens. A letter for you. Okay, hi. What do we got? We discovered some papers in a hidden desk drawer in the boatyard last night. Mr. Jones almost threw them in the fire pit, but I asked to take a look at them first. That man does like to burn things. We have an arsonist! Or possibly just a pyromaniac who hasn't graduated to arsonist yet. Great! They look old. Maybe there's nothing of much use here, but I thought of you when I came across an entry on the shin. Charlie Weathers. Okay. Menu. Tuck you in there. Wait, where is this? Okay, boatyard, huh? Can I explore to the boatyard? Cutter's Lane, number 8 is the boatyard. The boatyard. The yard has seen better days. A mess of broken and rotted timbers covers most of the outdoor space that isn't taken up by upturned boats slowly being claimed by the weeds. In the middle of all this, a man looks up from repairing a small rowing boat. You must be from Strange Antiquities, he says with a smile. He takes me into the dilapidated office where 2 metal buckets collect drips of brown water and a thin window pane rattles with every footstep. He pulls a sheaf of brown papers out of a desk drawer and places them gently in my hands. Book contents. Sleep vessel. The 6 points of a sleep vessel are said to represent the 6 thalamic disciplines: Selenic, Draidic, Noctic, Diurnic, Wixic, and Mentic. They help people to stay awake beyond any natural limits by storing their fatigue. Over time and repeated use, they become more and more difficult to handle, as though the undreamed nightmares within are beginning to seep out. Oh, hey, wait, no, where'd you go? Apparently as an afterthought and somewhat reluctantly, the man gives me something else as I'm leaving. I've no use for it, he says. Don't even know what it's for. Item discovered. Okay, I have no idea what that is. Great. Okay, do we have a shelf for you? Oh. Okay. What happens if I put these things on there? I don't know. Did that do anything? Not that I can see. Well, maybe I'd have to weigh something. I don't know. You can stay there, and you can go over there. You look like about the same things. Okay. Bing! I want an Ossic ring. That's a pleasing... How do you stretch out G's like that? I don't know how to say that. I'm just going to say Ossic and not try to draw out sounds that are... I mean, the Ossic... Hard sounds like the K phoneme do not work that way! So it's like Terry Pratchett if he took himself too seriously. Index. Ossic ring. Spelled halfway sensibly, thank you. These somewhat macabre objects were originally made as offerings to the goddess Korshen, but the practice fell out of favor as belief waned. They are hard to come across now, but they are occasionally sought out for their ability to keep vermin at bay. Some say they can hear Korshen's unearthly hiss when they hold an Ossic ring up to their ear. Okay. That's a hand. I have nothing to remark. I have nothing to remark. Either flesh, grim. I don't think this is it. I was expecting it to smell worse than it does. Okay. I don't know why that eye is following me. I don't like it. What about this? Color and composition. Bronze. A sense of touch and uneven texture. Scent and sound. I have nothing to remark. I have nothing to remark. Wait a minute. Try that again. No, believe me, none of these are Ossic rings. I know this to be true. Oh, no. No. Actually, no, you started down there. You'll remain down there. What about this thing? There's some evil quality to it. I do not like to hold it. Bone, yellow and white. Hard and somewhat rough, coarse fibers. Ah! Okay, that's the Ossic ring. I can hear it hissing. Da-da-da-da-da! Made of bone, this item satisfies the description. Macabre. Closer inspection confirms the hissing noise can indeed be heard. Okay, cool. Evocant. These stone items weigh the same as a man's heart, according to popular myth. The truth is a little less dramatic, but the weight of these items is nevertheless important and should not stray more than a hair from precisely 1 pound. They are placed on the chest of those in a coma to draw them out. Okay. Hello. Edmund Bishop. The behavior of these ravens is disturbing to say the least. As a rule, they only come together to feed. Ravens are omnivores, carrion eaters mostly, but they'll take anything they can get their talons into. And they'll kill if necessary. I didn't plan on dropping in today, but there's something happening out there, and I'd like to know what. A voice of Cernunnos might help put me at ease, or it might do the opposite. Voice of Cernunnos. Oh. Okay. Nope, wrong button. Why do we even have that button? Voice of Cernunnos. The name Voice of Cernunnos is used to refer to any bronze torque, I've seen that has certain imbued properties. With skill, such an item can be used to read the patterns of nature that are otherwise hidden to us. Cernunnos is a pagan god of the forest and nature, so Cern. Typically depicted as a man with the antlers of a stag and often wearing or holding a torque. And I know what a torque is, and I don't really need to check any further. This item is made of bronze. A similar looking item appears around the neck of Cernunnos in the sketch. Spirit Eye. There are some who stay away from spirit eyes, believing them to be a window into a world that should not be seen, and others who deride their fear as nothing more than superstition. It is not clear exactly what they do show. Another layer beneath the visible world, perhaps, a layer that requires something more than the traditional senses to experience. They draw their power from the opposing symbols inscribed upon them. Okay. Closed. End day. Oh, we have an exclamation mark. Oh, the ornithologist, Edmund Bishop. The 14th Lord of Gleeston Castle is a man of wealth and privilege like the 13 before him. He is a man who would be easy to despise, as his father was, but he is well loved by those who know him. Now retired, he was a professor of ancient languages at the University of Cumbria, but his real passion is birds. His students learned to divert particularly dense lectures on Latin declension. I guess that's an adverb of decline, by asking about local owl species or by quizzing the professor on increasingly exotic bird calls. Edmund was only too happy to oblige, spending hours recounting stories of his adventures in Africa and New Zealand. End day. The black mare thundered through the icy rain, shining wet in the silver moonlight. Her cloaked rider was exhausted, cold, and soaked to the bone. He knew he would not survive the night if he did not reach Backbarrow. What's it? Oh, so I follow this. What is this? Huh. Shackles. An escaped prisoner ran northwest. He hid me in the first building he came to. So that's going to be the map. Okay, so an escaped prisoner ran northwest. So northwest would be kind of that way. An escaped prisoner. So where's the prison? The Eye, the Quarry Yard, Royston Farm, Strange Antiquities, Undermere Church, Jacob's Folly, Wizard's Library, the Bleak Stones, the Merry Bell, Galfrey's Tower, Mossy Wood, the Pit, Undermere Station, the Convent, Blacksmith's Guild, Town Hall, the Twinings, Market Square, Keystone Manor, the Spoken Word, the Old Jail. Number 10. Number 10. And number 10, Northwest. Hid me in the first building he came to. That's be more northeast, wouldn't it? I think the first building would be Strange Horticulture. I think. Hope I'm right. The Curious Plant Shop on the edge of town, which is the previous game, is a quiet haven away from the bustle of the center. Ordinarily, I'd be delighted to while away some time there, but I have important work to do. And yet, an hour later, I find myself leaving the shop with a potted palliance and a weight off my shoulders. I've been chatting with the proprietor about the similarities and differences between our two disciplines, with a gently purring hellebore curled up in my lap. I have a plant. I'm not sure if that was the right escape prisoner, so if we ran northwest, because it's streets. Was that right? Greywick Farm, Boatyard, Stockside Rock. Would it be the boatyard? Any other day I'd be eager to get a Pokemon. I guess to get back. The shop won't run itself. I think I've probably done for the day, but they usually stick them back in when they're done. An escaped prisoner ran northwest. It wouldn't be the church, would it? The church is old and the roof is in need of repairs. Moss and lichen add splashes of color to the otherwise gray exterior. I wander around to the back of the church where an old yew tree stands. Its gnarled branches scratch gently against faded gravestones in the breeze. The The pastor strays into my moment of quiet reflection and imparts some local lore. The tree is known as the Witch of High Green Church, and there are those that believe it to have unnatural powers. While the tree lives, the witch's fingers cut from its limbs are alleged to provide healing through pain. This place is creepy. I'm gonna have to check on that another time. Oh, new person. Oh, Verona! Hi, Verona! Ah, well, that's just perfect. Undermere fizzing with fear over these ravens, and the thaumaturge has left his apprentice in charge. Thanks. Sorry, my dear, that was rude. Thank you. Pay no attention to me. I'm an old lady who got out of the wrong side of the bed. I like her. These ravens have got under my skin is all. Please do let Eli know that I was looking for him next time you see him, and pass on my thanks for letting me borrow his copy of Hermetic Symbology. I'm going to need this at some point. Hermetic Symbology. There are 3 branches of thaumaturgy, each is split into 2 disciplines represented by the following symbols: Selenic, Dradic, Diurnic, Noctic, Mentic, etc. Imbuements, elements, materials, mundane elements, planetary metals, seasons, weather, Wicca. Huh. That's going to be useful later. How about you sit there? I got a pet Jupiter. Hi. Okay, here we go. Tess Sherwood. I feel paralyzed. I have no job, no partner, no friends, no prospects. I hear a horned shackle might be the answer. Horned shackle. Horned shackles are used to bring about change in one's life, bestowing the ability to overcome personal demons. In use, the horns are rubbed between one's fingers, causing them to become worn smooth over the years. They can be worn as pendants, but are more commonly totems of some kind. Okay. I shall leave it open to horned shackle, because I might need to read that again. Usually a totem of some kind. Sense of touch. This part feels smooth. It's rough and pitted. I think it's going to be this one. Let's check him just to be on the safe side. Pointy. Textured. No. You. Horned shackle. This item has horns. Closer inspection reveals that the horns have been worn smooth. Vesiger. A vesiger can be used to prevent the spread of disease and pestilence. Among other oddities, flames burn pale blue in their presence. Huh. And I apparently have one, so that's interesting. I gotta see something. Okay. Well, I don't know if I've got one of those. Ding! Ah, postman. Hi, David. At least the weather is looking a little bit better out there today. Letter. Good day. You might be interested to hear that my plow overturned a strange-looking object yesterday. Come to the farm and it's yours. For the right price, of course. Kind regards, John Royston. Royston Farm. Let me explore a minute. Royston Farm, 30. John grins as I struggle to hide my obvious interest in the item he shows me. Any hope that he might not be fully aware of its value quickly evaporates, and after a lengthy negotiation, I reluctantly hand over the amount he originally asked for. Item discovered. Oh, look, we've got a raven, and there's ravens outside. Oh, yay! You can go back and live there? I still haven't worked that out. I don't think, anyway. We'll tuck you away for the time being. Back up we go. What are the rest of those? Huh, what's this? Reminder, I've stored a couple of items in the cellar of the wine merchant next door. So we are Strange Antiquities, number 29. wine merchant next door. The proprietor, a Mrs. Cranmore, begrudgingly grants me access to the cellar when I explain that I'm from Strange Antiquities next door. Yes, well, take the lot of them out of here, would you? I can't say no to Eli after all he's done for me, but I don't like the thought of those unnaturals in my cellar. Oh, that's going to be interesting to have kicking around. We'll just tuck you down here for the time being, shall we? So we can hang you there. You look pretty there. We can just put you on the shelves? We can just put you on the shelves. Okay, cool. Ding! Hi, Jupiter. Julia Braddock. Ah, Jupiter, we meet again. Our paths crossed late last night on Princess Street. You've been wandering, Cat. We shared a moment before he slunk off into the dark on important business, no doubt. I wonder if you can help me. I'm visiting my grandmother later, and I wanted to bring her something. From here. She lives all alone on the edge of town, out on Clanbrook Road, and I don't always manage to get out there as often as I'd like. I thought maybe a moon heart would bring her some comfort. Wonder if that's that glowy thing. Well, let's have a look. Index. Yes, I'm very much aware of the index in the back. Oh, moon in the back. Index. He is Dradic. So I'm looking for something comforting. Okay. No. Selenic totem. These carved totems, more commonly known as moon hearts, can be imbued with a sentiment or feeling, such as love or joy, and then held tightly to recall the same this is the one I found recently. They sometimes feature crescent shapes associated with, I've read this, so crescent-shaped thing. So definitely not the glowy, even though it looks like it could be the glowy, okay. Crescent-shaped thing. Investigate. Color and composition. A cheap brown fabric. Bone. Engraved detailing. Hard and cool. Hard and somewhat rough. A rough fabric. Nope, sorry. Scent and sound. I have nothing to remark. Inner perception. Nothing to remark. So it's probably empty. But, oh! And one thing I can also check is the symbols. Vedic symbology. Okay, so... no. That way. Seasons, weather, mundane elements, planetary materials, humans, so it's a protection. Okay, that does look like it could be it. Okay, give it a shot. Oh! Okay, I don't know what that light up was. Okay, so it's not that, which is funny, because it's a crescent. But... clearly not. No. Ooh. Well, I should slow down and think this through more carefully. Right, okay, but... yes, but I don't have anything else that looks like... Okay, that's gonna be an issue. Do I just not have it? What about you? White paint, white paint. Wood you, I suspect. Rough and gnarled. Nothing to remark. Nothing to remark. That's not helpful. Not sure I have it. I have no idea what that is. Well, let's... Ah, that's my weights. Okay. Not helpful. I don't know what that's for either. The occult scholar. Jupiter is the thaumaturge's cat, or more accurately, Eli is Jupiter's thaumaturge. Jupiter found Strange Antiquities, perhaps drawn to the curiosities within, and made it his home. Eli was more than happy to accommodate him, but he learned early on that Jupiter was his own master. His business is his own, but it largely consists of regular naps, terrorizing rodents, and midnight explorations of Undermere and beyond. What he does on his excursions is a mystery, but he seems to be well known among the town's residents. And I'll introduce you to Verona Green. I know her from Strange Horticulture. The occult scholar. Verona has been a constant in Undermere for as long as the streets have had cobblestones and the churches have had bell towers. She is respected and feared, which she revels in, and she is revered and admired, which she tolerates. Her knowledge of the occult world is second to none, and her expertise has steered the citizens of Undermere away from catastrophe on more than one occasion. The near misses of the Selenic Flame and the Woken Dendru are two such events that spring to mind. Yeah, the Woken Dendru was a thing. She is of the opinion that no problem is so great, no obstacle so insurmountable, that it can't be diminished by a properly brewed pot of tea. Which means she is very, very English. Yeah, at this point I think I'm going to need a hint, because I am pretty much out of guesses here. I don't have an entry from... Yeah, no, I got that far. I'm looking for a carved totem. What about him? Nothing to remark, nothing to remark. Textured, pointy, clay, but not... Selenic totem. The form of the item will either the moon or the night. Owl. Light colored wood. Polished. Nothing to remark. Warm will come by a warm, loving emotion. Okay, yes. So not moon. Night. Identified. This is a carved totem. The owl is associated with night. It bears a concealed crescent shape. Well, okay. Using the closer inspect tool, it tells me it imparts a feeling of joy. Okay. Holgan Grimm. These eerie creations are worn by priests of Holgar in various rituals relating to death and the afterlife. The sacrament to ask for his protection, Wolfsong's truth to seek his judgment, path of the warrior to help the dead find their way. Don't we have some charming stuff in here? God, I hope that settles down. I don't like being that close to the red. So I should be more careful, shouldn't I? A friend of mine, or former friend of mine, I should say, has been stealing jewelry from me. 3 necklaces have gone missing over the past few weeks, including one that was a gift from my late grandmother. Do you have a suitable pendant that I could leave lying around for her to find that will teach her a lesson and make sure it never happens again? I will need to make a choice here. There are no wrong answers, but my decision will no doubt affect the events in motion outside my shop. Binding Seed or Zia? What do they do? Binding Seed. These items are made of 2 distinct materials representing the mentic and the wixic, the mind and the body. The winding path, the mind, is described by a spiral encompassing the body, the seed. A binding seed is a form of punishment that amplifies feelings of guilt and shame. The other one, the Zaya. Worn about the neck to place them closer to the heart, these innocent-looking items instill a sense of fear and paranoia. They can be difficult to remove. Zayas are made of any single material except wood or clay. They typically have no symbol or other writings upon their surface. You know, I think I'm going to use the binding seed, so... Mind described by a spiral encompassing the body, a seed. Okay, so we're looking for something spiral with a seed within. And a pendant. That's probably it. Binding seed. Two materials, wood and stone, features a spiral surrounding a seed. Shield charm. Generic charms of protection have little to offer the skilled thaumaturge, but can have some small effect. An Oshandic spirit or a wandering shroud will not abide them, for example. Such charms make use of the art of symbology, an ancient and some would say primitive component of thaumaturgy. They can be made from a variety of materials, though rarely precious metals. Okay, good to know. Thank you. You go back to center. I like the fact that the pendants swing every time you move the... It's like you're just moving the entire shop around instead of you moving. Image burrows. They found a man just now in that house where all them ravens were. I wish I hadn't seen, but I did. He was sheet white, but it was his eyes that are going to give me nightmares. All black they were. It were like you weren't there anymore. I don't need to wait around for another sign. I'm taking my family to Sedberg, and I'll be taking a libula to see us safely through. So I take it you're looking to me for that. Okay, libula. Libulae are purported to offer reassurance in times of upheaval and change, but they are not held in high regard by most scholars of the occult. That being said, an imbuement of wisdom shows that a libula is not merely decorative. There is power in symbology, as the old thaumaturges knew well. Okay, change. Yeah, so libula, but it doesn't say a whole hell of a lot about what they look like. Okay, so let's check the symbolism. Calm, confusion, death, deception, fear, foresight, insanity, wisdom. So they want a protection charm, right? Oh, so we need the wisdom symbol to prove that it's not decorative. So it's that pointy bugger. So that pointy bugger? We live in eternal hope. There we go. The item bears the symbol of wisdom. Witch's finger. Witch's fingers are said to be the severed digits of the Witch of Undermere. They are capable of inflicting intense pain, but the goal is supposedly putrefaction of the body. A most unpleasant experience, but a last resort that has cured some and finished off others. Charming! Closed. End day. I think we're about done. I still don't know where that prisoner is. And that's the demo! There is a lot more to uncover in the full version of the game. More gameplay elements to discover that we won't spoil for you here, more secrets to unearth, and a sinister plot involving ancient deities, dark articles, and a meddlesome priest that will lead to one of several unique endings. That's pretty much it for my metaphorical spoon drawer, as well as for the demo. Though, gotta tell you, that one is going directly into my... Wait, no! I need more game! So I'm really hoping that it does come out the release date they're saying at the moment. As stated, this one's going to be out pretty soon, the 17th of September, fingers crossed. So, a little over 2 weeks from now. If it really interested you, though, Strange Horticulture has been out for a couple of years. It's similar. This is actually more interesting and more involved. I actually like this one a lot better. But currently, Strange Horticulture is on sale, and it's in a couple of bundles. I personally recommend the one that comes packaged with the Cosmic Wheel Sisterhood, which is an interesting pixel graphics game where you get to design your own tarot cards and effectively use them to gain power, potentially at a cost given who, or rather what, is helping you do it. Anyone who likes Quantum Witch and this will like that one too. I mean, that's probably why they put it in the bundle. And maybe someday I will just stream some of that for y'all, if you're interested. Next time, I'm going to start poking at a demo that sounds even dearer to my heart than this one, and which I anticipate whining again about wanting the game to come out now, instead of, in that case, Q4 this year. It's called Book Smugglers, it's by Fluxo Games, and it's about smuggling banned books to save the nation. I may not be an American, Canadian living in England, if you're curious. But frankly, we're not far away from that sort of thing over here, anyway. And in any case, I am a firm believer in the sentiment echoed by many authors and book lovers. Read banned books. That's where the good stuff is. If you want to support my little trash can, want me to expand my streaming offerings, like, say, showing you the Cosmic Wheels Sisterhood for a couple of hours, or maybe just provide me the elixir of life that is coffee, my Ko-fi is linked on the site. You'll also find full reviews for the demos I've featured here, and reviews of other indie games I've picked up over the years, and the occasional think piece about what's going on in the industry. If you've got anything you'd like to see, just poke me in the comments there. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all in a couple of days.